Hello everyone. I just got home from work and I have been feeling a deep desire to pick up another job outside of my regular 9 to 5. So welcome to a week in my life as a private chef. So if you've been around for a while, you know that I have been on a new weight loss journey and I have really been focusing on my nutrition. So I have been seeing a nutritionist. I have been going to her for about 5 months now. So throughout the week, I'm going to be showing you guys what is on my meal plan and how I spice things up to change things up and not keep it the same every single day, because I know that personally for me, and I know a lot of people don't like to eat the same thing every day, and that's one of the things about being on a wellness journey or a health journey or a fitness journey, whatever you want to call it, that turns people off is I don't want to eat the same thing every single day. That's so boring, but it doesn't have to be. So I'm going to show you guys throughout the week what is on my meal plan and then how I spice things up. For example, today on my meal plan, I have a chicken poke bowl, and that's because I don't like fish. So I'm gonna do chicken. It says I can do vegetables as I like, cucumbers, carrots, tomatoes, etc. Brown rice, I could do half an avocado, and I could do 2 tablespoons of dressing made from Greek yogurt. So to change things up, because I've had plenty of chicken bowls, I'm going to be making a chicken souvlaki bowl. And the best part about all of these recipes is that they're so quick and easy, which is right up my alley because, as I mentioned, I do work a full-time job and it's tiring to work a full-time job, get home, and then still have to cook. So we squeezed 1.5 lemons into this bowl. Next, we're gonna do 1/4 cup of olive oil. Honestly, I have been loving seeing this nutritionist because everything that is on my meal plan is so realistic. And I think honestly, the fact that I'm going to see a nutritionist in Mexico plays such an important part because culturally we can align. Like, all of the foods that she gives me are foods that my family eats, and I don't have to eat separately from them or feel like I can't enjoy the foods that they're enjoying because I can't have them. I think you just need to find the right nutritionist for you. And so I think for me, I needed to go to Mexico to find the right nutritionist for me because, again, she made me see tacos in a different light. Like, I don't have to say no to tacos. I can still have the tacos, but just make small little tweaks to it to make it a healthier meal. Next step is to mince up 4 garlic cloves, but we don't have time for that. So let me put you on pre-minced garlic. 4 minced garlics would typically be a tablespoon. So we're gonna do a tablespoon of garlic. And then this recipe does call for fresh parsley and fresh oregano, but guess what? We don't have time for that. So we are just going to do dried parsley and oregano, which is totally fine. I've cooked like this before, and honestly, do with it what you will. We are gonna do 1/4 cup of parsley. Okay, now we need to do 2 tablespoons of fresh oregano. We're gonna do about that much because oregano is kind of strong, so we're not gonna do too much. And then we're gonna do half a teaspoon of cumin, half a teaspoon of chili flakes, teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper. And then I'm just gonna give this all a really good mix. I'm gonna drop in the diced chicken. Now that we have the chicken nice and marinated, I'm gonna let it sit for about 30 minutes. So in the meantime, I'm gonna go for a quick run. I don't know why, but today I just feel very mentally clouded and I need some mental clarity. So I'm gonna go put on my running outfit, my running shoes, and we're gonna go for a quick run. We are back from the run. Let's continue cooking. So now we are going to take the chicken and we're gonna stick it on some skewers. Now that we have the chicken on the skewers, I'm gonna place them on this hot griddle to grill them. Meanwhile, the chicken is cooking over there. We are going to prepare our salad. So for our salad, we're going to recreate the Olive Garden salad. So first, I'm going to take bagged lettuce. Again, quick and easy. We're going to slice up some tomato. Now I only have Roma tomato, but honestly, that'll do. It's more so for the flavor, if anything, really. So you can kind of just do whatever you wish with your salad ingredients. So we're going to drop in the tomato. Some red onion. Really, I think it's purple. Dropping these in there. And then the most important part, we're going to do some pepperoncinis. And then this is an Olive Garden style salad, but this ain't no Olive Garden. We're not cheaping out on the black olives. And then we do have some of the Olive Garden croutons. We're going to try to keep it light with the croutons. We're going to cheap out a little bit on the croutons, and then people can always add more as they wish. And then I do also have the Italian dressing from Olive Garden. So again, we will just do a little bit because things aren't bad in moderation. So we'll just do a little bit here in the bowl, and then people can always add more if they want to their personal dish. And now a separate set of tongs from the ones we're using for the chicken. And we're going to give it all a good little mix. All right, salad is ready to go. Now the last thing we have left to prepare is the rice. And as I mentioned, I'm trying to make this meal as quick and easy because my clients are hungry, as am I. So on the topic of trying to keep things quick and easy, we are going to be using microwave rice. Now, preferably, I like this one from Costco. I have had this one before. I love it, but this is all we have on deck. So we are going to be using this Minute brown and wild rice. Hopefully it's not too bad, but you just pop this in the oven for 1 minute and you're good to go. Finally, it is time to plate this up. So we are going to do 1/3 cup of rice. Salad as we wish. So I made 2 chicken skewers per person. So I'm gonna guesstimate it because obviously I know the weight is gonna be somewhat off. Dinner is served and it looks beautiful. So right here we have our salad, we have 1/3 cup of rice, and we have 67 grams of chicken on the skewer. I did also end up having some extra that I did not put on the skewer, but I put it on the side because it didn't really look aesthetic. I ended up having to supplement like 15 grams of queso panela, but queso panela is always coming in clutch for me to top off the protein and still meet my goal. But let's dig in and see. Let's see how this tastes. So we've got the salad here. Cheers. My compliments to the chef on that salad. So good. Let's try the chicken souvlaki skewers. I love it. So lemony, spicy from the red crushed pepper. Rice is whatever, but I didn't make that. Good?
What was the chipotle for?
That's for tomorrow.
What are you making?
Tomorrow we're having chipotle chicken avocado sandwiches. Day number 2, we are home from work, and today on the menu we have a chipotle chicken sandwich. It's supposed to be a replica of the Panera one, and actually I've never had it, so I don't really have anything to reference it to, but I saw it online and it looks so good. On my meal plan, I can have chicken breasts with a chipotle sauce, and I can have a chicken sandwich. So I'm like, let's just merge the two together and let's make that the chipotle chicken sandwich. So I'm so excited for that. Honestly, I saw it online. It looks so good. I cannot wait. We are going to be doing 120 grams of chicken. So right now we have the chicken cooking. I had my sous chef start on this while I was at work because it's going to help me save some time. So while that is cooking, I'm actually going to get in a little workout because yesterday I wasn't feeling good, but today honestly I'm feeling so much better. And it's really windy outside. I kind of wanted to go for a run, but it's dusty, it's windy outside. So instead, I'm gonna get in a double workout. So let's go work out and then we'll come back and finish dinner. Let's get to cooking. So first off, we have the chicken already fully shredded. All we did to cook it was just boil it in some water, throw in some bay leaves, salt, and garlic powder. Now what I'm gonna do is fry it up a little bit just to give it a nice little toasty taste. I'm going to use avocado oil to fry it. I have a love-hate relationship with avocado oil. I personally do love using this, but I feel that sometimes it burns a little faster and it doesn't fry the food as well as other oils do. But again, it is 0 calorie, so it will do. And now we will move on to making the chipotle sauce. So all that the chipotle sauce calls for is 1 cup of mayo. I'm using light mayo. Again, you can use whatever mayo fits your needs. So let's drop in 2 chipotles. And we'll do a little bit of sauce. There we go. It calls for a teaspoon of lemon juice. I'm gonna squeeze half a lemon. We're gonna do half a teaspoon of paprika. It actually calls for smoked paprika, but we don't have that. So we're just gonna do regular paprika. Honestly, it'll change the taste slightly, not too much. Half a teaspoon of chili flakes. And half a teaspoon of salt. So the sauce is a little bit too thick for this blender. What I'm gonna do is add a little bit of the chicken water. I'm just gonna do like the tiniest bit just to help it blend, but I don't wanna do too much.
Está calientito, pero no está
Time to make the actual sandwiches. I'm gonna start off with mine because I don't know how it's gonna turn out. This is the bread that I'm using. It's whole wheat bread. And I'm gonna see if it'll toast up nicely without any butter. I have all the ingredients on deck. So we have the chicken over here. I have a bag of spinach because I'm gonna put some spinach on it. We have the chipotle sauce, which I'm gonna put on one of the breads. And then we're also going to do some reduced fat mozzarella cheese. You can leave this out completely if you don't want it, but honestly, I'm kind of craving it today, so we're gonna add it in there. Okay. Bread is toasting very nicely actually, so let's start assembling. Okay, we're gonna start off with the 2 tablespoons of the chipotle sauce. Let me see. Let me spread this out. I'm just gonna do a light layer of cheese on mine here on this side. We're gonna add in the avocado slices. I'm gonna do some spinach. We're gonna do some of the chicken here. Okay, now we are going to, oh, maybe I should have just done it all. Okay, ooh, it's toasting very nicely. I didn't even need to press it down. Okay. She looks pretty good. We're gonna get started on everyone's sandwiches here in a little bit, but let's give it a try while it's nice and warm. If you want more flavor, you're gonna have to add more chipotle sauce in the 2 tablespoons, but I think it's pretty good and it's pretty clean, fresh. I feel like it's still pretty good. A good little alternative or switch up to your regular chicken sandwich. So highly recommend. I do enjoy this. But I'm going to go ahead and finish everyone else's meal and make it with a little bit more chipotle sauce for them. So over here I added 43 grams of protein. So over here I have the other 76 left over, but I'm just going to eat that one like that because obviously I can't have 2 sandwiches. I am craving a little soda on the side with this. So a drink I've been enjoying is this Clear American Mandarin Orange soda. It tastes literally just like Fanta, but it's 0 calories. And all I do is this much, honestly. I'm not a huge drink person. I just find something I like and I stick to it. I also just need the tiniest little bit just to wash it down. So that's all I'm doing. Already have the dressing and stuff in here? Mm-hmm. I don't know if you want to add more, but you can always add more if you want to. Well, try it like that first. What if you don't like the sauce? Good? Nice. Welcome to day number 3. Today we are making the simplest meal of them all, and a meal that's actually on my meal plan verbatim. I wanted to show this one because it's one of my favorites. Actually, it's so simple to make and it's one that makes me feel so good when I eat it. Usually whenever I'm gonna get my period or I'm just very low on energy, I'm feeling very lethargic, I'm like, I need some lentils in my life and it'll pick me right back up. So we are going to be making lentejas today, and we're gonna add in queso panela for protein, and then on the side we can have a tortilla with guacamole. Let's go ahead and get started. I actually already had my sous chef start on the lentejas because I had an errand to run right after work. So all she did was just start boiling them in water with some salt, garlic powder, and onion powder. We're just gonna do your typical Mexican ingredients, which are chile, tomate, cebolla, onion, tomato, and some chile serrano. I'm also going to cut up a little bit more of these ingredients to make some guacamole on the side. Actually, I decided I don't want guacamole. I'm just gonna throw the avocado slices in my lentejas. Yeah, I feel like I may have shown this meal definitely in my other videos, but in case you're new here, this is one of your first videos you're watching, I'm gonna show you guys one of my easy go-to meals. So the onions, we just cut them up in these little like half rings. Ooh, they're getting to me. I can feel it. Okay, and then the tomatoes, we are just going to dice it up. And honestly, a lot of these meals that I'm making, they're not anything new. They're just very quick and easy meals, which is what I've been wanting. While that's cooking, we're gonna cut up the queso panela here real quick. So we're gonna do 100 grams of this queso. I always like to pat it a little dry because this cheese is very moist. And I'm just gonna cut it into little cubes to throw into the caldo. So we specifically use queso panela in my meal plan because queso panela is similar to crumbling cheese or queso fresco, but it is lower in fat and it's higher in protein, lower in calories, so it's a better alternative to regular cheese. Quick recap on following the meal plan for the last 5 months. I feel like it has been the best thing ever for me because I've always struggled with nutrition and I've never known how to eat properly or what to eat, what's right, what's wrong. I would just kind of follow what I found online, and while what you find online isn't necessarily always bad, it's not wrong in many ways, but nutrition is actually something that's very personal, and everyone's idea of healthy, everyone's version of healthy is going to be dependent on what their life looks like, what their lifestyle is like, what their health is like, what their goals are. So it's very personalized to each and every person. And so if you just kind of follow what you see online, it can be a hit or a miss sometimes because you might be trying to follow something that's working for someone else, but it won't work for you, or vice versa. And so going to see a professional for me was the best option because she really like took into perspective like what my gyno told me, what the doctor told me, what my lab results told me, what my goal was, and what I'm trying to improve on. And so she personalized it to me, and I was able to start seeing that change after years of just not changing, being so consistent with working out but not losing a single pound, staying so stagnant, and feel so frustrated because like I was showing up every single day but there were no results. And so finally I took the initiative to go and see a doctor, go see a professional, go see the nutritionist, and finally we started to see some change. So that is the best thing that has happened for me. And I don't want you guys to think that I'm 100% perfect in this journey, and that's what I've been saying from the very beginning. Even when it comes to working out, like there are days where I feel lazy, there are days where I want to take a rest day, there are days where I snooze the alarm, there are days where I'm having pizza, there are days where I'm having coffee twice a day. You know, like I'm not perfect, but it's that 80-20 balance that I'm striving for every single day. And you know, throughout the week, yes, I have my coffees, but I'm eating meals that are on my meal plan 100%. I'm making good choices. I'm trying to find alternatives where I can still have the avocado toast out and about, but maybe we're doing the sourdough bread instead of the white bread, or you know, little changes like that, so that I'm not depriving myself of enjoying meals out and about or going out with friends, or saying no to the coffee and building that guilt mindset and just giving up overall. Because I feel like that's the cycle that I used to be in, where I would do good for like a week and then I would give up because of multiple XYZ reasons, and then I would feel guilty, so then I'd start again. And first thing is to get started, learn along the way, and then you get better. Don't expect things to be perfect. Don't wait for the perfect time, because the perfect time is never going to come. I don't even know what I was waiting for half of the time. I was just like, I will do this at some point when I feel right, but I never felt right. I just kept waiting. And so I realized that there will never be a perfect time. You just have to get started and start now and do it imperfectly. And as time goes along, you learn and you grow and you find what works for you and what doesn't work for you. But what matters is that you got it started and that you showed up for yourself. Because at the end of the day, it's like no one can make you do anything but yourself. And the only person that will help you is you. Update to today's dinner. We are actually going to be collaborating with my sous chef. She is making a carne asada apparently on the side. So we're going to do 50 grams of queso panela in my lentejas, and then we're gonna do 70 grams of carne asada, just because carne asada sounds pretty good too, not gonna lie. So we'll just have a little best of both worlds moment. Okay, so now we're doing 1 cup of the lentils, 50 grams of queso panela, and then we're doing 70 grams of the carne asada. And just like that, dinner is ready. Let's dig in. Cheers. That hits the spot. It's exactly what I needed. Adding the carne asada gives it an extra little salty taste to it. It's spicy from the chile serrano, which I love. Today we are making tacos de carne deshebrada, or shredded beef tacos. Quick and easy, super healthy, and I'm actually not even having to cook the beef because we get these little packs of pre-cooked shredded beef and they're so good. We got these from Mexico. Granted, there's a bunch that you can buy here. I know these sell some like at Costco or Albertsons, and basically all that we're doing is just cutting up the beef a little bit because it does come pretty long, and for some reason I find it harder to chew when they're like super long strips, so I just cut them down a little bit. Throughout this week, I wanted to show a wide variety of things. You know, some of these meals took a little bit longer, some of these meals use prepackaged meat, and it's still healthy. You can find ways to make things work, but it's so easy to make excuses. So if you come home and you're super tired, you're easily gonna be like, you know what's easy? Let's grab some Burger King. And, you know, every now and then, yeah, it's fine, like, do it. But if you're doing that every single day because you're too tired to make food, because you think that healthy meals means having to sit there in the kitchen and cook for a really long time, then you're obviously just finding the easy way out and just justifying eating out. Because obviously I just showed you guys a full week of quick and easy meals that you can make. So I just wanted to show you guys that, you know, if you want to do it, you can do it, and there's ways to do it. I hope that you found some ideas throughout this week or felt a little inspiration or realized, you know what, showing up for me, choosing to eat better for me, it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be a super taxing job. I can take 30 minutes after coming home from work, cook something up for myself, eat food that's going to make me feel good and healthy and nourished and energized, versus buying the fast food that, sure, in the moment it was quick and easy, but then afterwards you feel super guilty because you realize that maybe you should have cooked instead, or you realized my goal has been to eat healthy and I just can't do it, but it's so quick and easy, and you just need to stop lying to yourself, because that's really it. That's really it. You're lying to yourself. I know, because I've been there firsthand. Like, once I started eating a little bit healthier and cleaner, I started to realize how that bread made me feel, how that drink made me feel, how tired I feel after eating something that has so much sugar, or how I literally feel my heart racing when I'm eating something that's super sugary. And granted, like, I still have those things. Again, I keep saying I sound like a broken record. I'm not perfect, because that's what I want you guys to understand. Because I think a lot of the times, again, and I speak a lot from experience, a lot of times it's so hard to give up the stuff that you love. It's not easy to be like, I'm gonna quit coffee forever now. And then you go maybe like a day, and then the next day you have coffee, and all of a sudden you just decide to give up because you had the coffee. But it's like, you don't have to give up the coffee. Just learn to make good choices where you can, when you can, and eventually it's like an avalanche. You'll just start wanting to make better choices. So take small steps in the right direction, and then before you know it, it'll be second nature. Okay, so I am just going to heat up the beef with some avocado oil just to warm it up. Again, it's already fully cooked, it's seasoned. Meat is already fully done, so now I'm going to heat up some frijoles. And actually, I forgot to defrost them earlier, so we're gonna throw them in here with some water to just speed up the process. And honestly, I'm just gonna have them like this. My mom usually makes batches of them, which is so convenient. And then you ideally defrost them with enough time, but I forgot. So I'm just gonna put some water in here, and then they'll be ready in no time. Let's move on over here. So for my tortillas, typically I would fry them in some oil, which is my favorite. I love fried tortillas, so good. But because we have bowls, we are popping them in the oven. The only thing is that I was trying to make these like a hard shell taco, because I'm trying to make them like tacos dorados. I was gonna see if I stuck like a toothpick, if it would keep the shape. Hear me out. I don't know where our toothpicks are, so I'm gonna use this long skewer and put 3 of them together. Okay. I tried this one time, but because the tortillas were kind of flimsy, they didn't stay in the shape. Okay, whatever. We will just go for it. So I'm gonna put these 3 in the oven. I'm gonna like open them up though, because I want to be able to fill them. So I want the shape to be somewhat like this. So hopefully they keep this shape. These are the tortillas that I like to use. They're just the 25 calorie Guerrero tortillas. So to make the guacamole, we are just gonna use half of the avocado. My tacos dorados on a stick are quite questionable. So I ended up having to put a layer of tinfoil underneath because the first time around the tacos were slipping and sliding through the cracks. So definitely need something underneath it. And then in order to hold the shape, I stuffed just a little ball of tin foil in the taco. So now let's shimmy this out of here. Hopefully these don't break on us. Perfect. Okay. Something to work with. Okay. And you're gonna see that this is actually a lot of meat that I'm gonna end up eating. I remember the first time that I had to eat 120 grams of shredded beef, I was like, what do you mean I have to eat all of this? The first time I ever started eating according to my meal plan, I was shocked at the amount of protein that I was not having before. Because before I would probably eat a third of this meat and call it a day, because I swore that I was doing something by eating less. And now I realize what I was doing was just eating a lot more of the bad stuff. Once I started eating according to my meal plan, I started to realize that I was actually just eating a lot of carbs, and that's what was filling me up instead of good healthy protein. So before, what I would have is just maybe these 3 tacos with this amount of meat, call it a day. But look at the difference. This is how much meat I was missing out on. And so I would have this, and I thought I was doing something because I was having a little bit of food. But then afterwards, I would still be hungry. So then like 20 minutes later, I'd get a bag of chips, or I'd get an ice cream or something else. And so I was filling myself up with all of that extra sugar or carbs, when in reality, had I just upped my protein or made sure that I was eating enough meat or eating good healthy fats, I wouldn't have reached for those bag of chips, because now I'm eating food that is keeping me full and sustained throughout the day. Okay, but anyways, as you saw, we filled the tacos with some of the shredded beef. We'll finish this off on the side, obviously, but this is for a little presentation. So I'm eating like a lot of food now, but good, satisfying, nutritious food. So I just sprinkled on some lettuce, and then I'm sprinkling on some queso panela. Usually you would do queso cotija, but obviously, according to my meal plan, I can have queso panela. So all I did was just crush up some of the queso panela to throw on top. This already looks so good. We have our little guac that we made on the side. Okay, and then we can do 1/4 cup of beans. We're just gonna do the whole beans. We'll just drop these down right here. And what would make this meal more authentic, more delicious than salsa in a tub of yogurt? Sprinkle some salsa on top. I literally just tried the food and realized I wasn't recording, but it was really good. So good. Welcome to Sunday, day number 5 of showing you guys what I eat in a week. For today's meal, I actually wanted to try something a little different, even for me, something that I haven't tried before. I remember that there was this viral carrot salad I wanted to try a while back, and it looks so good. And allegedly the salad is like hormone balancing, it helps with your skin and all of these like miraculous things. So I'm gonna have that, but obviously I need some source of protein to go with it. And I think I'm going to do ground beef because I didn't defrost anything last night, and ground beef is very easy to defrost with just some water. Actually, while we're on that topic, I wanted to share something that I learned with you guys, and maybe everyone knows this, but I didn't. I thought I'd just share this because I feel like with all of this overload of information online, and especially with this like obsession with protein that everyone has, where they're like, drink this protein shake, high protein meal, but not understanding it might lead to some confusion. I know it led to some confusion for me. I thought when I first started my meal plan that my nutritionist was having me eat 270 grams of protein a day. That's a lot of protein. But really, I'm eating 270 grams of meat, which then translates to protein. So I'm not getting 270 grams of protein. And I also wanted to clarify that because as I'm doing this video, I'm realizing I'm like, oh, 150 grams of chicken, 120 grams of this. And then some people might have this understanding that that's like I'm eating 270 grams of protein every single day. Like, no, two different things. I'm weighing out the chicken for 150 grams, and then that is giving me a source of protein. So I don't know the conversion, but let's see. For example, 150 grams of the chicken gives me 41 grams of protein. So again, I'm not having 150 grams of protein just in my lunchtime. I'm having 41 grams of protein, but I'm weighing out 150 grams of the chicken, which is then giving me about the 41 grams of protein. So I just wanted to say that to clarify, because again, I know I didn't understand that. Maybe it is very obvious to some people, but you know, for me, I was just very confused at first because again, I had no idea of how to properly nourish my body and how much protein I should be having, or you know, what exactly the protein is, because again, online there's just this overload of information where everyone is just obsessed with protein. They're like, make your coffee high protein, make this high protein. I know I fell victim to that a lot. I'm like, oh, this has high protein, so this must be good for me. But then you also have to think about, does it have high unhealthy fats? Does it have high carbs on top of that? Yes, it's giving me a lot of protein, but what else is in there, you know? So let's get into it because I'm actually very excited. I've always wanted to try this carrot salad. I'm gonna throw some water in here. So today I'm just gonna do some garlic salt, onion powder, and some black pepper. So while the ground beef is cooking over there, we're gonna get started on the salad over here. And so as you can see, for the veggies, we have quite a lineup. We have English cucumber. You could do, I think, regular cucumber or English cucumber. We had English cucumber, so I'm gonna use this before it goes bad. We're gonna do some carrots. We have some fresh parsley today. We have green onion, a lemon. I think it typically calls for a lime, but I forgot to pick up a lime yesterday. So we're just gonna use a lemon. And then I have some bell peppers that I'm also going to cut up to throw in with my ground beef. So I'm seeing a lot of contradicting things now online. There's the carrot ribbon salad, then there's the carrot cucumber salad, and then there's like just the carrot salad. So at this point, I don't know. We're just making this recipe, and I think that one seemed the best. So we actually don't even need parsley. Hopefully I need parsley for something else. I could have probably used this earlier in the week, but it's all good. We'll find a use for that parsley. Okay, so let's go ahead and chop up the green onions. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and add in the flavoring. I'm actually really scared now because I've seen so many different variations of this salad. I don't even know which one I'm following. So we're gonna do some lime or lemon juice because we don't have lime. We're gonna do some low sodium soy sauce, sesame oil, just a little bit because sesame oil is very overpowering. So we're gonna do like a little bit. Okay, a little bit of rice vinegar. Again, very overpowering, so just a little bit. We're gonna add in some chili oil. This is the only chili oil we have. I called for chili oil paste, but listen, at this point, we've already committed too far. We're just going to commit all the way through. All right, so we're gonna start off with some avocado oil. So we have 150 grams of the ground beef right here, fully cooked. Now we're just going to add in the ingredients for flavor. So we did some avocado oil. I'm gonna add in some garlic. And then I'm also gonna add in the orange bell pepper, red bell pepper, and I diced up some purple onion. Honestly, I've heard mixed opinions on cooking with purple onion. The purple onion was already pre-chopped, so I was too lazy to chop regular onions. We're gonna use purple onion. We're gonna do 1/3 cup of whole grain rice. Meal is ready. Let's give it a try. I'm not gonna lie, I'm questioning the carrot salad. It does not seem like it'd be delicious, but cheers. Not bad. I kind of like that actually. Ground beef, no question. Okay, wait. Actually, let's give everything a mix. Now that I've shown the presentation, we'll just take one big bite of everything together. That's pretty good. The carrot salad actually doesn't have like an overpowering taste or flavor to it. It's kind of flavorless, but like vinegary with the chili oil flavor, but very refreshing because of the cucumber.